This is Caitlin, your host of the NoSleep4Dramas Podcast, where we get no sleep and survive on coffee to watch just one more episode at night. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the NoSleep4Dramas Podcast. This is my watch list episode for July 2024. It is a rainy, crummy day here in Chicago, so I figured I would record this today, have some coffee next to me, which I always have coffee next to me, honestly, and talk about what I'm watching. You will also have a bonus episode starting this week on the podcast, starting up a new series about variety shows, which I'll talk about at the end of this podcast episode. So hopefully you will enjoy that and look forward to that series starting up as well. I know this is fairly quick to when I released my June. I usually try and post the watch list episodes like halfway through the month, like this week, like in the teens, 15th to the 20th, really. And for some reason in June, I was very late at releasing the watch list episode, but I still really wanted to release one in June because I realized I didn't do a May watch list episodes. Usually I try to time this for about the middle of the month, which is why we are here around the 15th of July, a little after the 15th, even though I released June's watch list like the 26th or something. But yeah, that is why you're getting a watch list episode like fairly close to June's, which usually it's a little more spread out. This list is shorter than I thought it would be. I also thought I would get some more dramas off my watch list that were on June's, but here we are. So I've added a couple new ones. I've added a couple new, like, variety, pun intended, because it's a variety show. It's a good mix of old and new dramas. I also do plan to get about 3 or 4 of these things off the list by August. I'll be curious what I'm watching in August. But it's a good mix of like things I've been watching for a while, things I just started. But yeah, it's interesting this month because most of the time, most of what I'm watching is Korean dramas because I watch a lot of on-air Korean dramas. This is not like the case. They still are dominating my watch list in terms of sheer number, but mostly it's like 6 K-dramas and like one other thing, but this month's not the case. So I'll be curious what my August is going to look like. Like, will it be dominated by all Korean dramas again, or will other dramas take precedence? So I guess we'll find out in August. But anyway, this is my watch list. And if you guys are new here and you have never heard a watch list episode or to my blog in the last 4 years and know anything about a watch list blog post, this is where I talk about all the dramas that I'm currently watching, whether I'm almost done with them, whether I just clicked played on them yesterday. Also, anything else I'm currently watching. That might be variety shows, that might be American shows of the few that I actually do watch. So basically anything can go in this blog post, podcast episode, whatever. So it's just everything I'm currently watching. And then at the end, I talk about a couple things I plan on adding to it in the future. And some of those on that list might be repeats that I just haven't started yet. And some are new additions depending on the month. So that's pretty much what is in my watch list episode. And yeah, so this is my watch list for July 2024. And as we always do, we start out with the Korean dramas I'm watching. I am currently watching 3 Korean dramas. 2 I've talked about before. 1 is a new drama. It would have been more, but I actually dropped a Korean drama like the week I started it. Like I watched 2 episodes, I want to say, maybe 1, and I dropped it because it just wasn't vibing. So that will be in the wrap-up episode. You'll find out what I dropped. So the first Korean drama I am, of course, still watching is Bad Thief, Good Thief. I'm determined to finish this. Like, yes, it's a 50-episode weekender, but I am planning on starting another weekender in September. So I really want to finish this or get close to finishing this, like make good progress by September on this. I still enjoy it. It's one of those where like I either watch a lot of episodes at once, like consistently watch it, or I don't watch it for a few weeks because I'm trying to finish up other episodes. It's one of those that are kind of floating around in the background. I honestly should have finished it by now though, because I've been watching this since January, but I don't want to drop it because I still enjoy it. It's just like it's a slow moving process. So we have made some progress though. Both of the brothers are now lawyers. One is a prosecutor, the other one is like a lawyer by day, but get this, a thief by night. He decided he wanted to become a famous thief to attract the attention of his prosecutor brother, who he's been looking for since he left when he was a teenager. So his idea was he was going to become this famous thief in order to attract the attention of the prosecutor brother and find him again. That's his whole thinking. And he's also going to use his thieving ways to get revenge on these rich, powerful people. The female lead has become a cop just like her father, mostly because her father was murdered and she wants to use that access to information to figure out who did it, even though people don't believe her that her father's murdered. So that's one thing that's going to have to be figured out. And interesting to see, like with her story, as well as with the prosecutor brother. So both the prosecutor brother and the female lead cop, and I would say the prosecutor brother is the second male lead. I don't think there's gonna be a love triangle though. I think the female lead cop is gonna be the romantic relations with the thief brother, and then there's a separate female lead who's going to be paired up with the prosecutor brother. So I don't think there's going to be a love triangle. There was a little bit of like the thief, because they all knew each other as children, as I said in other episodes, and they all kind of grew up together and they kind of like have gone in and out of each other's lives. So there was a little bit in the beginning where the thief brother saw the other second female lead and liked her, but nothing really came about it. She rejected him right away. So it's interesting though to see that the female lead and the prosecutor brother are kind of encountering same things, which is they're both encountering like class and class discrimination. Like this drama talks about that a lot, like rich versus poor. I mean, we have a thief that is basically being a Robin Hood. So you have the female lead who it's really hard watching her story because she's looked down upon for being a woman because she works in a male dominated career. And so people of power like to push her around. Prosecutors like to push her around because she's just a cop compared to this prosecutor. She's great though because she has a temper, but also she can't really do anything with that temper because she doesn't want to be kicked out of the police force and not be able to investigate her father's killer. So it's interesting to see because then you have the prosecutor's brother who's also kind of facing the same thing. He grew up poor, became this prosecutor, didn't have connections, doesn't have connections currently because no one knows his full background. So he's in this prosecutor career where you need these rich connections. And then when he has the opportunity to get them, he rejects them because he doesn't want them. He wants to be able to build his career by himself and through his own doing, not with help from these rich, powerful people, which obviously when that's passed around the prosecution office, people are like, are you dumb? Are you stupid? Why would you bite the hand that's trying to feed you type thing? I think that will eventually work out in his favor because essentially he wasn't going to take a bribe. He essentially rejected a bribe where other prosecutors took the bribe. So obviously that's going to work out eventually, but we're going to see that many, many episodes later. We have that going for it, which I think I like a lot. And then we also have the thief brother, who he meets up with the female cop again. They're now adults, and he finds out about her father being murdered, which he didn't have any idea about. And then they now live together again. So we also have cohabitation, and they love to bicker. They do not get along. She has no idea who he is in terms of being this famous thief. I'm sure that will cause problems eventually. The prosecutor brother and the second female lead have also met up after years of not seeing each other and are again in each other's lives. I do not know who likes who, though, because he seems to like her, but then also is aloof sometimes, and she's the same way. She seemed to like him when she was younger, and now not so much. So I don't know. I'm really curious. I kind of can tell he currently is liking her more than she's liking him. I'm assuming they're eventually going to warm up to each other and both of these four people are going to become couples or whatever. But then it will be really interesting once the prosecutor brother finds out about the second female lead's father, who really caused all of his issues when he was a child. So we have a lot of drama coming our way. I'm about a third of a way through this drama, I think, at this point, but we have a lot more to go and a lot more story to go because not a lot of secrets have been revealed to everybody in the cast, for that matter. But it's a good, in terms of like a crime action, I've never encountered a weekender like this. I've either encountered like family weekenders or I've encountered like makjang weekenders. This is like a sort of a family weekender, but also has like crime and action. Because it's basically this thief brother becomes this famous thief and is chased down by his brother prosecutor guy and tries to avoid being arrested. And I'm sure the female lead, who's a cop, is going to help catch him eventually and then find out who he really is and doesn't want to do that anymore. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, I'm about a third way through. My goal is to at least finish this or get really close to finishing this by September. So then I can just roll into the new weekender. That's my goal. So I will at least be watching this for the next 2 months. We'll see how this goes. I think the new weekender in September starts like September 14th or something. Also in August, I'm traveling a lot. So this will be really interesting of what actually happens. So we'll have to see. That was the Korean drama Bad Thief, Good Thief. All right, so the next Korean drama I am watching is The Auditors. I really, as I said in my like wrap up for June, really the only reason I'm watching this is Jungkook's hair, and he has not disappointed. Also, though, who knew the life of auditors was like so dangerous and exciting? I've watched the first episode of this drama. It's a little cliche. We have like a cold male lead who obviously is out for revenge for some reason and has trauma as a past. We have a puppy dog character that is eventually going to become his partner, but they hate each other in the beginning. I guess hate would be the wrong word. The cold character just doesn't know what to do with him. And the puppy dog character, he finds the cold character mean, obviously. He also thinks he got his position, the cold character's position, in a weird way, like he bribed somebody or something. And so he doesn't really agree with that. I don't know, this puppy dog character is actually sort of annoyed me in the first episode. So the auditors, the cold character is played by Shin Ha-kyun, and the puppy dog character is played by Lee Jung-ah. I've never seen Lee Jung-ah. I have not seen movies. But he's doing great in terms of being a puppy dog. And I hear that's kind of his character in Moving as well. But he sort of annoyed me in this because he's like too optimistic. Now, it might be because I'm kind of a cynical person. I don't know. But the case in the first episode happened to be with like somebody his character has known for a really long time. So when that character was accused of something, he immediately was like, that guy would never do it, like would not hear another side of the story, nothing. And he's supposed to be an auditor. He's supposed to be looking at things like objectively and like think logically about something. And he just refused to do that. He refused to be like, no, this person cannot have done a bad thing ever because I've known him. He's a good guy. And then you have this woman who works on his team who, she's not mean, but I think she's a very logical person. She's like, okay, this cold guy that just came in is my new boss, so I obviously have to do what he says. He makes sense to me. Of course, I agree with that statement. It makes sense to me. So the puppy dog character gets mad at her for like agreeing with this cold-hearted guy he views as a cold-hearted guy. And she's like, why? Like, what he said made sense. Like, I have to go investigate this guy. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why did he have the secret laptop? And the puppy dog character is just like, well, he made excuses for the guy because he's known him for so long. I was getting really annoyed with the puppy dog person because I was just like, dude, you're supposed to be an auditor. And this woman actually said that. This woman was like, you're not going to be good at this job if you don't look at this logically and actually be suspicious of people. And she's right, because this guy just did not see any red flag around this case whatsoever. Just went like, apparently he wants to be on this auditor team to get to Florida, I think it was, in like 3 years. He basically wants to be on the team to get out of Korea as fast as possible, and apparently this was the fastest way he could go. So he's not even on an auditor team because he wants to be an auditor. I don't know. Like, his character, he needs to think more logically for me to like him. Currently, I found him annoying. If he gets out of this optimistic bubble and actually like looks at things objectively because he's supposed to be investigating these people, I think I'll like him more. And I'm assuming that's what's going to happen because he'll encounter his boss more, and his boss, being such a cynical person, will rub off on him. But currently in the first episode, I was getting really annoyed with the puppy dog character. But also, Shin Ha-kyun, I've seen him play this character all the time. I'm not saying he's bad at it, but I've seen him play this type of character all the time. So I'm a little bored with him. Also, who knew the life of auditors was very dangerous? Like, these two people went through like gangsters coming to kill them and steal something, to them almost having to dive off a building to save a guy from jumping, which they didn't do, like getting in a fist fight. Like, who knew that job would be so dangerous? So yeah, obviously you're gonna see a lot of tropes with this. Puppy dog character is gonna be somewhat of the comic relief sometimes. He's gonna rub off on the cold-hearted character and vice versa. Jin-goo's hair is everything, in my opinion. He also looks like he's probably going to be the villain. Jin-goo, I think, will probably be the villain, or at least one of the villains. But I don't know. I'm still on the fence about this. I've only watched the first episode, so we'll have to see. Yeah, the puppy dog character just was really annoying to me, and it helped that some of the other characters were annoyed by him too, which I found hilarious. So obviously we're going to see a lot of this team that is on this auditing team grow and become more good, like better auditors, because one of their problems, the reason why Shin Ha-kyun came to the team, was because they were horrible at their jobs, because they had all of the puppy dog characters mindset. Like, they didn't look at anything very deeply. They were optimistic about everybody. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about this. It's not bad. It's just, I think it's because I was really annoyed by the puppy dog character. And also, it was very cliche in, like, with the tropes and everything that I've encountered so many times in crime dramas. So, and it's only been one episode. So I want to watch at least. My rule when it comes to dropping, unless I absolutely hate it or I know I'm just not going to like it, I usually watch 4 episodes of especially on-air Korean dramas before I drop something. Not always the case, but yeah. So I want to at least give this 4 episodes and see how I feel about 4 episodes. Because I did like some parts of it. Like, obviously, the whole action scene of getting attacked by the gangsters was fun. The reaction to the team and this cold-hearted character walking in and being like, I'm your new boss, was funny. Like, they had its moments. I have to see if I can get over the puppy dog character or not, because if I find him way too annoying in this episode 4, I'm probably going to drop this, but we'll have to see. And, I mean, obviously, I only met Jin-goo in the first episode, so I don't know much about his character, so I'm curious if my prediction of him being the villain is going to be correct or not. But That hair is great, though. That hair is great. That was the Korean drama The Auditors. Okay, so the last Korean drama I'm watching is The Player Season 2. I'm severely behind on this drama. Still, like, I've watched the first 2 episodes, and I have not watched more than that. I really want to finish it, though. Like, I had fun with the first 2 episodes, but I just need to get around to finishing it. I'm planning on finishing this by the end of July, especially now because I finished Connection. That was the other Korean drama I was, like, severely behind on. So I finished Connection, so now I can concentrate on this one. But yeah, so I haven't watched any more episodes beyond what I had already watched in my June watch list. But I'm not dropping this because I want to finish it. I want to see how season 2 plays out. I hear it has some amazing cameos, which I want to see. So we'll have to see if I actually do finish it in July. I'm hoping I can. It's only 10 episodes, so we'll have to see. Just finished talking about the Korean drama The Player Season 2. All right, so those are the only Korean dramas I am currently watching. I honestly, like, for the upcoming ones, like, I have some that are on my list, like, obviously Sweet Home and everything, but, like, again, I haven't seen season 2 of Sweet Home, so I can't even watch season 3 yet, and the other 2 that I'm looking forward to don't have a streaming site. So I don't know if I'm going to be watching any more Korean dramas or not in July, so we'll have to see how this goes. So the next one the next one, we're going to move to Chinese dramas. And I am currently watching 3 Chinese dramas. 1 I'm almost done with, and 2 I just started. So the one I'm almost done with, I have less than 10 episodes to go, so I'll probably finish this in the next week, is Blossoms in Adversity. I've been talking about this for a while. I plan on doing a review episode for this drama in August. I'm enjoying this drama. It doesn't have a couple for me that have like insane chemistry or anything like that, but they're nice. It's like comfortable. It's a quiet chemistry. I don't dislike them together, but it's just nothing that's like, oh my God, it's amazing. They're sweet together. So it's not like the couple is not the biggest draw for me for this drama. It's not a negative thing about this drama though, but I think I don't know, the writing seemed to not highlight their romance either sometimes. Like they seemed sometimes not to be the focal point of this drama. So it's hard to say that like the romance was the highlight of this drama because the writing seemed to not even have that. But they've been nice. The couple's been nice. It's not like my favorite couple ever, but I don't dislike them. It's more of a quiet chemistry, a more comfortable romance type thing. So the thing I do love the most about this, though, is her family. Like, her family has gone through a lot. So the fact that like all the women of her family have grown and become more confident in this as women in their society and have like overcome all the obstacles and then supported each other through these obstacles, like that is what has been fun about this drama, like her family in general. I don't know if we're going to see this. I have no idea when their husbands or the sons are going to come back, but if we do see something where like I don't know, they come back in episode 28 and there's 30 episodes or something, I hope they don't like just revert back to what they originally were doing, because what would be the point of the entire drama? So I hope they like are supported by their husbands and sons when the husbands and sons show up. So it'll be interesting because like even there was a part in a recent episode where the female lead goes and visits the husbands and sons in the north, and you could see some of the especially some of the fathers/husbands like did not believe that the women were doing so well, which I guess was a good point to make because they thought they would be like destitute without these males and without the husbands to support them or whatever. So I guess that was a good point to make, but it made me so angry. It made me so mad because I was just like, yeah, guys, you obviously were exiled to the north, so like it was sad and you weren't planning it, and you obviously are doing very hard work out there, but like, what makes you think your wives and daughters could not do what they had done? So I get it. I get why they did it. I get like it's a historical C drama, of course. So, but that part I was just like, oh God, I want to smack some of these guys, especially because like the female lead goes up there to give them like clothes and stuff, and then you just tell her to face like, what did you do to make this money? Obviously, thinking they did something unmoral to make this type of money, and yeah. I mean, they apologized for it, but it was just like, dude, you're her father, and you go straight to that. So I didn't particularly like that reaction. It made sense why. Like, I'm not saying it didn't. It's just, I just hope when they get back, we either see them supporting them or like it just is short enough that we don't see it at all. The other thing that with this drama is I don't trust the Emperor one bit. I feel like he's a bad guy. He's rubbed me the wrong way the entire drama, and I have 10 episodes to go, like less than 10. I feel like he will be the big bad by the end, because like I just watched when his son, I think one of his sons became, maybe nephews, came out as like bad, which I knew was like he was not a good guy anyway, but like it just is really fishy that this emperor that's rubbed me over the wrong way the entire drama has not been revealed as like the bad guy yet. And also the male lead like supporting him the entire time. Like blindly supporting him, even though you could tell from his reactions he didn't like what his uncle was doing all the time. So I don't know. I'm really anticipating this emperor to be revealed as a bad guy in the last 10 episodes, but we'll have to see what happens. Because one thing, if it is revealed that he's a bad guy and the male lead has to like take him down, obviously the male lead is so loyal to him, he's going to be sad, which might cause a breakup, which I hope is not the case. So I'm just really curious what's going to happen with this emperor. We did figure out the male lead's mystery. I guess we know it. I don't know if we know everything about his sister or not. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen these last 10 episodes. One thing I did notice, now that I've noticed it, it bothers me. Like at first I didn't really notice it, but now that I did, it kind of bothers me, is I've noticed that sometimes the background music is really loud and it drowns out the dialogue, especially during romantic scenes, because, you know, the music swells or whatever, that I can barely hear what they're saying. And I feel like the production didn't do a very good job on that. So now that I know that, and now that I like recognize it, I hear it all the time, which is annoying. So that was Blossoms in Adversity. The next Chinese drama I'm watching is Eternal Love of Dream. I literally clicked play on this like yesterday. I've only watched the first couple episodes. I basically clicked play on it because I'm almost done with Blossoms in Adversity. I'm also watching it because an upcoming podcast episode recording. You know, I reviewed this with Liliana and Jess from the drama trio. Not this, 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms. This is the spin-off, I guess. I wouldn't say sequel. It'd be like spin-off because it is about a side couple. So yeah, you know, we reviewed 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms. We're now watching this. I love the main couple. I loved the side couple. The side couple that are now the main couple in Eternal Love of Dream are my favorite couple from from 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms. So I'm really looking forward to watching their story. And I'm sure it's probably going to pass through the story of 10 Miles and then either go beyond that or before that. I'm not quite sure. But I love this couple. So I've been wanting to watch this drama for like 5 years. It came out in 2020 or something. Maybe 2019. So yeah, get ready for this review. It eventually will probably be coming out. I'm really excited to watch this. I'm really curious what's going to be in it too, because like knowing their story from 10 Miles, it'll be interesting to see what turns the tide in this one. But yeah, I love this. I loved the couple. I loved this couple in 10 Miles, so I'm really excited to watch this. Just got done talking about the Chinese drama Eternal Love of Dream. All right, so the other one that I really have only watched like 1 or 2 episodes. I randomly clicked play. I shouldn't say randomly. I've been wanting to watch this drama forever. I clicked play on season 1 of Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty, and it was hilarious because I clicked play on this last weekend, maybe a weekend before, and then this past Monday they announced that season 2 was premiering. That was not planned whatsoever. I did not know, but I've been wanting to watch this forever. So I finally clicked play on this. I plan on watching this season and then going straight into season 2 probably. I've only watched the first couple episodes. I already love the dynamic of the two leads. You have a grumpy lead and then like a more comedic lead, I guess. Like the grumpy lead is like the brawn and the comedic lead is the brain, but it's also fun because both of them are quite smart actually. It's not just one or the other. So it'll be interesting to see how they work together. I love how spooky this drama is. Obviously, it's titled Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty. Like, there's going to be demons or ghosts or monsters or something. I love those types of dramas. I'm also a sucker for historical mystery dramas. Of course, the two male leads hate each other right now. They do not get along. They do not, especially the brawn, especially the guard guy. He is a grumpy guard guy and does not like the brain guy at all. So it'll be interesting to see how because they obviously team up to solve these mysteries. They have already started in the episodes that I've watched. So it'll be interesting to see how their dynamic changes and how their relationship progresses through season 1 and then how it changes in season 2 as well. So that'll be fun to watch. But yeah, so that was Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty season 1. I started a week ago maybe. And that is all of the Chinese dramas I'm watching. There are 2 more things I'm watching. I'm still watching the anime Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm almost done with the Dark Tournament, which I hear is where the live adaptation ends. Like, it goes through mostly just the Dark Tournament. I could be wrong. I'm still have not decided yet if I want to watch this entire anime first and then watch the live adaptation and then do a versus episode, or just watch the Dark Tournament part and then watch the live adaptation and then do the versus episode. I'm not quite sure how I want to do that because I love this anime, but I think one of the critiques if I watch the entire thing is the live adaptation doesn't cover everything I like about the anime, which I've heard in other people's critiques already. So I knew going into the live adaptation, it wouldn't already be covering parts I've loved from this anime. I'm really not sure. What I should do. I mean, I don't plan on doing the versus episode until August, so I have some time. I do kind of want to finish this anime up at the same time to get it off my watch list. So I have to decide that. I mean, this anime is still nostalgic for me. I love it. I've seen it once already, so this is technically a rewatch. But I've also forgotten a ton of it, especially in the later seasons. The later seasons I don't remember a ton about. When the first season was him as a spirit detective, which I remembered quite clearly. And then also the Dark Tournament, I pretty much remembered a lot of it. It's the other 2 seasons I don't remember much. So if they make references to that in the live adaptation, I kind of want to know what they're talking about. Because this is a 30-year-old anime and I haven't watched it in at least 20 years, if not more. So I don't know. I do want to finish it so I can watch another anime or even pick up another variety show. I just haven't decided yet. But yeah, this is still ongoing. I'm pretty much caught up to the live adaptation part, though. I'm still having a lot of fun. As I said, it's nostalgia. It's one of my favorite animes I've ever watched. I will say, though, parts of this anime definitely have not aged well at all. The jokes, some of the one-liners, has not aged well at all. So again, though, this was made 30 years ago. That's no excuse, but yeah, there's definitely some jokes in here that would not fly if it was made today at all. So that was the anime Yu Yu Hakusho. And the last thing that I am watching and I'm obsessed with is the Japanese variety show, The Boyfriend, that premiered this past week. I wanted to be so strong and to wait until this was done airing and be able to binge it, but I was not strong enough and I started it. And I watched all 3 episodes in like the first couple hours they dropped. If you guys don't know me, I actually do watch a fair amount of variety shows, specifically if they put a group of people in a house, whether that's a romantic one, whether that's finding friendships, whether that's like working a restaurant, whatever. If it's a group of either complete strangers or a group of like celebrities that don't know each other very well, and then they live through like in this house for a week, a month, whatever, summer, get to know each other better, maybe romantically. Like, I'm a sucker for those Asian variety shows. I love those setups. I love them. Like, Heart Signal is one of my favorites, or we have Terrace House that I've watched, I think, 1 season of. A lot of them are on Netflix now that I really need to watch. There was like one called Dangerous Beyond the Blankets or something, and basically it was a bunch of K-pop stars that were put in a house because they're all like homebodies. So basically we're like homebodies in a house together for 5 days. So I love that variety show. Like, I love this setup. So the minute that they announced this, I knew I was going to watch it. So this is probably one of my favorite things I'm watching. I'm so sad it's only 10 episodes, and I'm so sad it ends by the end of the month. I am not going to go into like specific details because I'll be talking about that in 2 seconds on why, but I just want to say some things. One, my favorite people are Kazuto, Ryota, God, I can't talk, and Taehyun right now. Kazuto is a chef, Ryota is a model, and Taehyun, I think he said, was a designer. I like them a lot. So with the first 3 episodes, they really concentrated on a very early couple called Shun and Dai. And this really always happens. Like, whenever there's a couple that pairs up really quickly, they get a lot of screen time in the first episodes that they're in. With Shun and Dai, I like both of them, but I'm drawn to other contestants more, so they're not my favorites in comparison to like Kazuto, Ryota, and Taehyun for right now. And I wish they kind of didn't show them as much as they did in the first 3 episodes, but I understand why. Because they were the first couple, they were the first that paired off, that caused a little drama. Like, I understand why. I just hope other couples get more screen time in the coming weeks. I already think people that I like have good chemistry and should go on dates together, so we'll see what happens. I also think Shun and Dai would benefit from dating other people, like seeing what else is out there, and then maybe after doing that, discovering that they still like each other. That happens all the time in these type of shows. So I would understand if they stayed together for the rest of the show. That also happens where you have a very early couple pair off and they don't get away from that. So I understand that as well. So it will be very interesting to see what they do. Also, Alan entered the picture in episode 3 and he will definitely shake things up. It will be interesting to see what happens. Also, I hear we're missing another person. There's supposed to be 9 people. And like, if you look up the cast, there is another person. So I'm really not sure if somebody leaves and this guy comes in, or they do actually add a 9th person. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I loved the first 3 episodes. I'm completely obsessed with this show. And that brings me to my little thing. So I want to start a variety show series for the podcast. As I said, I love these types of reality shows, like these variety shows. I've watched some of them. I haven't watched all of them. So I want to start like a series of me watching the ones I haven't seen or rewatching the ones I have, and like doing like a mini series, like 2 to 3 episodes a show, like introing these reality shows, maybe doing recaps every couple episodes, every 3 or 4, maybe half. Watch half the season, do a recap, and then watch the final 6 episodes, 5 episodes, and review it, whatever, or maybe just do recap type stuff, because I feel like a lot of people don't watch reality shows, or they're very specific, like they watch like the competition ones, which I do watch sometimes. So I have not encountered a ton of podcasts or blogs cover variety shows very much. They might like one-off cover one, or they might mention they're watching something, but not like deep dive into anything. And some people don't even know they exist. So I really want to start like a variety show series that I regularly watch variety shows and then talk about them. So if you want me to watch a specific variety show, you can DM me or comment, let me know. Or if you have anything you want me to specifically talk about in this series, let me know. Like, what would entertain you if you were going to listen to these variety show episodes? So that's what I want to know. I think I've come up with a title, but we'll have to see. So yes, I do plan on doing that with the boyfriend. Some of those episodes I think are just going to be like special episodes, and then I do plan to review and recap the entire show, a scheduled podcast episode, which I think is going to be like the second week or third week in August. So we'll have to see, because I'm liking this show so much, I need to review it. Okay, so some dramas and other stuff I plan to add to my current watch list. As I said in countless other watch list episodes, The Spire Realm, I still plan on watching. Blood of Youth, I plan on watching. Double, I plan on watching. Those really haven't changed. For the variety shows, because I do want to start this variety show series, I got a request for Ginny's Kitchen. So I have never seen Ginny's Kitchen. There's 2 seasons out. I do want to watch that. I've never seen His Man. There's 3 seasons of His Man. I would like to watch those. I've seen 2 seasons of the Heart Signal series in China, the Chinese version, and I did like those. So I plan to start season 3 of the Chinese version. I think in Korea, I watched only 1 season, and it was season 3 for the Korea, so I could go back and watch season 1, season 2. There's like 6 seasons for the Chinese, and I think 5 or 6 of the Korean. And then Terrace House, I haven't watched Terrace House for a long time, and I don't remember what season I watched. They're like, you don't have to watch them in order, but you kind of do. So, and I think they're mostly all on Netflix. The oldest one, I think, is Boys X Girls, Boys Times Girls Next Door. And I want to say that's like over 100 episodes or nearly 100 episodes. And I don't think Netflix has all of those episodes. So I want to start the Terrace House up again. I probably will be rewatching whatever I watch, because I do not remember much, but I know of the series and everything. So that's what I plan on adding. I don't plan on watching all of these variety shows at one time. I plan on watching one at a time, because I am going to be doing a podcast series on it. So same with the dramas. Unless like everything I'm currently watching is off my watch list, I'm pretty much probably going to only pull in 1, if not 2 of these dramas. So we'll see. I'm hoping I can pull in at least 1 of these dramas before the end of the month. We'll have to see how this goes. My goal is to add more Chinese dramas. It also depends on the airing Korean dramas. As I said early on, the 2 Korean dramas I'm looking forward to, 1 or technically 3. Sweet Home, I haven't seen season 2, so I can't really start season 3 until I watch season 2. And at this point, I should probably just rewatch season 1. And then the other 2 that I'm looking forward to don't have streaming sites yet. So if they come to streaming sites, I would love to watch them. If not, I don't know. In terms of July, I really don't know. I don't know if I have a lot of Korean dramas that I'm looking forward to or not. Currently, don't think so. Maybe 1. So I don't know. We'll see what happens in August. I'm not really sure. But I guess that means I'm just going to be watching other country dramas. So yeah, that is my watch list for July, and some of the dramas / variety shows that I plan on adding to my current watch list eventually, and also what I plan to doing in terms of starting a new variety show series, because again, I love these types of variety shows. I love them so much. I do plan eventually of releasing a podcast episode of the ones of like just variety shows I love, because I have done a podcast or a blog post of it a long time ago, like 4 years ago, and I have not updated it. So I do plan to do that eventually. So we'll see. But yeah, that is my current watch list and some things I plan to add eventually to this watch list. We'll see what I get done with. We'll see what I drop. We'll see what's added. I don't know. I feel like some of this is like really short. Like my watch list is short and some is not. I'm not really sure. I obviously have watched more than this at one time before, to the point where I was very overwhelmed. So this to me seems like a really short list, but I don't know if that's actually the case or not. But yeah, that's my July 2024 watch list, my current watch list. So what are you guys watching? What do you want me to add? Anything you looking forward to? If you have anything you want to talk about when it comes to variety show stuff, just DM me, let me know, message me. You can talk to me on the Discord, whatever you want. Let me know. Let's start conversations. What are you currently watching? Have you finished anything that I should watch? Obviously a double. But that's, yeah. That is my current watch list. Thank you. If you want to continue the conversations about dramas that were started in this episode, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter under the username NoSleep4Dramas. That is no sleep, the number 4 dramas, just like in the title of the podcast. This podcast is also an expansion of my blog, so you can visit my blog at www.NoSleep4Dramas.com, the number 4 dramas.com, and find multiple years of blog posts already available at your fingertips. All links are in the description of this episode. This has been an episode of the No Sleep for Dramas podcast, and I am your host, Caitlin. I will see you here next time, and I hope you get no sleep chasing the next episode just like me. Good night.